I'm disappointed. Okay, well, you may notice we're moving backwards. We have to do that because we don't have room here in Silver Plume to turn the train around. In fact, we don't have enough room to turn the locomotive around. So we leave it in that reverse position, but we put it on the back of the train so it can lead us down the mountain. Once we get to the Devil's Gate boarding area, we'll run that locomotive around the train, put it on the front so it can pull us back up the hill. What you're riding on today is a reconstructed portion of the Georgetown, Breckenridge, and Leadville Railroad, or GB&L. The first mountain railroad to head up this way was the Colorado Central. They built west out of Denver in 1870, following through the towns of Arvada, Golden, and Alice Springs, finally reaching Georgetown in 1877. That's when the GB&L was formed to continue the line on the west to Silver Plume. The idea of proceeding further west, tunneling under the Continental Divide to the rich mining areas of Breckenridge and Leadville. However, once they built about 5 miles west of Silver Plume, the parent company of the GB&L acquired another railroad which came into Leadville from the south. So there was no need to take this railroad any further west. It was cut back to Silver Plume.
Excuse me for a second, I just want to get out and look at something.
Georgetown, Breckenridge, and Leadville Railroad was 4 1/2 miles long.
There you go.
About the turn of the century,
Thanks.
it became part of the Colorado and Southern Railroad.
Well, I can tell.
Now that water looks pretty cold, and believe me it is, because that's snow melt coming down from the Continental Divide. This water will let on down into the river, go into the South Platte River, and then it heads northeast to Nebraska, into the Platte, the Missouri, Mississippi, and then the Gulf of Mexico. That water's got a long way to go. We'll see more of that creek as we go down the mountain. It brought the miners their families and supplies up to the mountains and took back the rich gold and silver ore to Golden and Denver for processing. This went on, however, only until 1893 because Congress repealed the Sherman Silver Purchase Act at the price of silver plummeted. Most of the silver mines were forced to close, and the railroad had to look elsewhere for revenue. It found that revenue in tourism. The fame of the Georgetown Loop had grown nationwide, if not worldwide, as a scenic and engineering marvel of the 19th century. Thousands came to ride the train. As many as 7 trains a day would leave Denver, bringing people up over the loop.
That's all I got this.
This went on until the early 1920s. But at that time, people started driving those new automobiles as their mode of transportation, and passenger traffic suffered here on the railroad. In 1927, they canceled their passenger service. There were still a few freight trains for the next 8 years, but by 1938, things got so bad they filed for the Canada line. By the end of 1941, all the tracks and bridges were still to go with, from the Shore Line up to Blackhawk. Society had visions of rebuilding the famous Georgetown Loop. In the early 60s, there was talk of putting an interstate highway up this valley. The Historical Society intervened and convinced the Highway Department into putting Interstate 70 on the far side of the valley, where you see it today, thus leaving this railroad grade and the mining history intact and ready for reconstruction. That reconstruction was started in 1973 by the United States Navy Seabees. In 1975, Lindsay and Rose Ashby set up the train up for We've been running every to the right, as we clear the trees, you can see all the way down the valley. You'll see the high bridge with the town of Georgetown in the background. Makes for quite a picture. Now we call this the high fill because it took about 4 years of hauling in rock and dirt to build the grade up to where the railroad could get across this very low area. Looking down on either side, you can see just how much rock and dirt had to be brought in to build the grade up to this point. Our railroad, like the original GB&L, is narrow gauge. That means the tracks are spaced 3 feet apart, whereas most of the tracks in the U.S. are standard gauge, 4 feet 8 1/2 inches apart. They like to narrow gauge in the mountains for several reasons. First, the cars are smaller and lighter. They're able to negotiate the sharp curves, like the one we came around on the high fill. Because the cars are lighter, they're more easily pulled up the steep mountain grades. The grade we're on now is the steepest on our line. It's a 4% descending grade. That means for every 100 feet we travel, we drop 4 feet in elevation. At this point on our travels, that locomotive is about 12 feet lower than the back car on the train. Another reason they liked narrow gauge is because the roadbed didn't have to be as wide, and that meant a lot when building through a boulder field like the one we're entering now. Look off to the left and imagine building a railroad through an area like this. They didn't have the heavy equipment that we have today. These large boulders had to be hand-drilled, packed with black powder, and then blasted into smaller pieces so they could be moved by hand or by horse team. It was difficult and dangerous work, but that's how these early mountain railroads were built. As we round this curve, we'll cross Clear Creek for the first time since leaving Silver Plume. Silver Plume was just a short ways upstream, but we had to twist and wind our way to get to this point. As we cross the bridge, if you look to the left, you can see just how fast Clear Creek tumbles down the mountain into the Georgetown Valley. We've got a couple of small waterfalls off on the left-hand side. They're best seen from the far side of the bridge, looking back towards the left side. As we leave the bridge, we enter the cut. You might notice the rock retaining walls on either side of the track. These rock walls were built in the mountains used underneath mortar. It's called dry stacking. These rock walls are about 120 years old and still standing today. Silver Line. Those of you taking the optional Silver Line tour, this is where you'll want to get off the train. Once the train is stopped, if you would carefully make your way to the third car behind the locomotive, you'll find our smiling brakeman Rob there to help you off the train. And be sure to take all of your personal belongings with you. That includes your children, because we'll be making a complete round trip and picking you up on our next trip down the mountain, so you won't miss any of your train rides. Also, please have your tickets ready, as the mine tour guides will have to look at those tickets, and they want to see where it says Mine Tour on that ticket. So be sure to show that to them as you leave the train. Those of you not taking the mine tour, if you'd please remain seated, we'll be underway again in just a few minutes. This stop is the Lebanon Silver Mine.
Yep. Like a little repair thing or... That's already
There's that whistle again. That means we're going to move. And here we go. Okay, folks, now that for those of you not able to take the mine tour, if you look down on the left-hand side, you'll see the folks standing there at the, there's a wooden portal right there that they're standing in front of. Well, that wooden portal is the entrance to the Everett mine. Now, the Everett is a sister mine to the Lebanon, which is a little further down where the buildings are. I say sister mine, it means they're joined at some point. In this case, it's 1,200 That's level number 5.
Yes, sir, I am. I did a board. I'm a movie maker because I always going to say lights, camera, and action.
Those are historically correct. They had those platforms on the bridge.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Tommy Road.
Once out on the bridge, if you look to the right, you get the bird's eye view of the town of Georgetown. While to the left is our Devil's Gate boarding area. If you want to look straight down, there's Clear Creek again. This time it's almost 100 feet below us.
Let's do the flash.
As we leave the bridge, if you look down on the left-hand side, you'll see a small stone monument. That was placed there in 1949 by the Colorado Historical Society to commemorate the location of the high bridge. The bridge had been torn down in 1939. That monument was placed right next to old U.S. Highway 6, which we just crossed over. Old Highway 6 is the road down to our depot now. Well, anyway, had you been driving this area back prior to the building of Interstate 70, you would have gone right past that monument.
Never mind, here we go.
The pass.
Look at the one guys I'm doing some music videos on the videos for as a DVD. And here we go.
Manufacturing company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hang on, I have an idea. Why don't we just do a song version of On the Road Again? Go.
Narrow gauge railroads in the U.S. today. This locomotive was originally built for the U.S. Railroad Company of Placer City, California. Old cars, like old freight cars, all have been refit and rebuilt for passenger use. Here on the loop, so the work was done right here in our shops in Silver Road.
Train coming down the road.
Cars came from the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad, parts of which are still alive today.
On the train, we're heading down home.
Part of the old line has been the
And my neighbor was like, jump on the rails again. Come and be on the rails again. I got to be on the window. I got to be on the rails again.
In this case, it's the road up to the Lebanon Silver Line, used today by our blind tour guides to get to and from work.
Oh, Kim is ringing me into a friend. I found them is ringing. I'm enjoying the trucks on those. And she goes, Mommy, surprise! Mommy, see me! Well, there we go, me, here we go! No, rails again. I got here the train, I saw the window. I got my feet on that train.
1 mile from where we started. To get here, we traveled
No, rails again. I know I don't think I'm train, no, behind the something. Watch out, but the second one gets you blue. Down. Always feel right there. Just to be on the train, down. Watching the train get the road up. The crossers are in on the rails again. I'm going to on the rails again. I go back to be on the rails again. And I will go away of myself and on the train, on the rails of the end to a destination. But baby, please don't worry, I'll be fine. When I see myself on that train ride, it was gonna be like I never even saw time again. So, on the rails again. I got my feet on the rails again. It's gonna be a very good day. I got my feet on the rails again. When the train gets a rolling, that will be on this side. But it doesn't matter where the train might be going. It's gonna be alright. It's alright. It doesn't matter where the train gets going, it's gonna be alright. When I The train again, go round and round, train over again. The train is blowing, and it goes satisfying when I am born. Wheels again, I go back on the wheels again. I got love in my arms, but I gotta get back on the same train. Still on the wheels again. I go bang bang on the wheels again. And I see myself on that train. I can't wait to be on the rails again. I mean, now it's on now. Hey, how's it going? Alright, me, if you're listening, I'm Member Ben. I want to start in this video. If you'll notice, I'm on the Georgetown Loop Railroad. There's the train pulled by this powerful locomotive. It's very old, and right now, I did a video just for you. And now, I'm gonna sing that song again. What's that song sing? Right on the rails again. This is a good song. Well, here it goes. On the rails again. Like a rainbow on the rails again. Stop again. See my stairs.
Can you see Uncle Rick up there?
Myself and the train. I'm on the rails again.
I couldn't see you there.
My friends, I can't wait to be on the rails again. And